Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill just took place in the main event of UFC 300, and Alex Pereira won this fight by first round KO with the left hook. I'll be honest, I thought to myself after what Holloway did to Justin Gaethje, it's going to overshadow the next two fights on the card. And it did overshadow Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, which was a good fight, but it got completely overshadowed by what Max Holloway did. And I was hoping, praying, please don't let what Holloway did completely overshadow what happens in this main event. But Alex Pereira found a way to have another absolutely badass UFC 300 worthy moment by finishing Jamahal Hill. It wasn't just that he got a first round KO. If anything, that would have maybe still been overshadowed. It would have been cool. It was a brutal KO. It would have gotten as much attention. But the sequence in which he did it was one of the coolest moments in UFC history. And I know I'm saying that after what Holloway just did to Gaethje, pointing at the ground and finishing him with a second left to go. However, Alex Pereira literally hit a, hold on Herb Dean, let me cook, and then slept Jamahal Hill badly in round one. Now, I picked Alex Pereira by KO. I picked Alex Pereira by left hook KO. I picked him in round two. I picked him after Jamahal Hill would have some moments of success. And to be fair to Jamahal Hill, starting the fight, he was doing quite good. He landed a right hand on Pereira. Pereira rolled with it well. He rolls with shots very well by framing with his hands on like zombie guard, as people are starting to call it. With his arms out wide, framing away. Doesn't take the brunt of that shot. Both guys were tapping each other with low kicks. I thought Pereira was getting the better of that battle, but Jamahal Hill was sticking it to him. He was landing low kicks of his own. Alex Pereira was jabbing at the body of Jamahal Hill quite a bit. He landed a good body kick on Jamahal Hill as well. And then Jamahal Hill throws a body kick. It audibly hits the top of Alex Pereira's groin guard. Like, you can see it touches the top of his guard. No damage done. Not a crippling groin shot, but it could be enough to where any lesser fighter who's not as badass as Poatan himself could go, give me some time. Let me recalibrate. I need a minute here. You know what I mean? Let me get a breather and refocus myself. No. Herb Dean's like, want me to step in? That was a groin shot. Even Jamahal Hill's like, my bad. And Alex Pereira goes, you fucking shut up, Herb Dean. You back up right now. Hold up, Herb Dean. Let me cook. Okay? Holds up, puts his hand on Herb Dean, says, no, I'm fine. The very next exchange, Jamahal Hill goes from, my bad, dude, sorry about that. Oh, shit, we're still fighting. Throws the straight right hand, gets slept by Alex Pereira's left hook. One of the coolest sequences in UFC history. And I'm saying, what a card this was. This was the greatest card of all time. With Yuri's win, with, there's other moments on this card, but this was great, okay? I'm sure there was what about Bo Nickel? I'm joking. Even still, Alex Pereira saying, no, hold on. Oosh! Beats Jamahal Hill with his left hook. Jamahal Hill throws a straight left hand from southpaw with his right hand by his waist. We were saying it all throughout the build-up. I was watching back his fights with Thiago Santos, with other fighters as well. And even, shout out to Lucas Tracy, he made a video on this as well. Like, I didn't want to make a whole video about how he exposes himself to the left hook, but I was saying, it's going to be the left hook. He leaves that right hand down every fight. You watch it. I mean, there's like so much evidence of him dropping that right hand while he throws his straight left right down to his waist. You can't get away with that against Pereira. You especially can't get away with it after he like has this moment of pause the groin shot, which to be fair to Jamahal Hill, probably did take him out of things for a second because he was switched on. He was keeping his range. He wasn't letting Pereira pressure him as much. He was getting outside foot position. He was doing everything consciously and intellectually that he needed to do in the fight. And then they had the groin shot. And I swear to God, it was like Jamahal Hill went from, he's about to take a few minutes to recover. All good. Oh, shit, we're still fighting. Okay. And then gets caught. Slept badly. Jamahal Hill is probably going to get the roasting of a lifetime on social media. I hope he doesn't. But he does have in his bio, undisputed champion, this and oh. Or this and one, whatever it is. Which is now going to age horrendously bad. Okay? And he was talking a whole lot in the build-up. I appreciated him for it. Just going to be honest. Pereira does not speak a word of English. We needed this energy going into the main event because I needed something to get me excited about this fight because Holloway Gaethje just blew all my adrenaline out of the water. I had no adrenaline left to give after Holloway versus Gaethje. What a sequence from Pereira. They were low kicking each other, fighting for outside foot position, both guys going at it. I thought to myself, people were saying, Jamahal Hill's southpaw, he's southpaw. He's not going to get low kicked as much. And I was going, no, Pereira's got really nasty lead leg low kicks that he can still throw here. And that's what he was doing. And in fact, the fact that he was throwing lead leg low kicks was actually, in a way, keeping him safer against Jamahal Hill's straight left. Right? If he was throwing like inside low kicks off his rear leg or anything like that, Jamahal Hill could have tried to catch him while he's squared up with Jamahal Hill, while he's more open, while he brings his rear leg forward to kick. He was leaving his lead leg out there, flicking little kicks at Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill was doing it back, and it was that jab to the body that he does. He was doing it a bunch against Jan Blachowicz, jab to the body that he was throwing over and over again, and he was getting Jamahal Hill to parry a little bit. So I think what he expected to happen was, I'm going to go for this left hook when I track this guy down against the cage. Don't fucking interrupt me, Herb Dean. I'm about to do it. Goes back into the fight. I'm going to throw this left hook. Jamahal Hill's going to try and blast me with like some kind of shot while I'm going for this jab to the body. And to be fair to Jamahal Hill, he did throw like a low, tracing low, right, straight left hand. Like, and it maybe would have been designated and designed and, intended for when Alex Pereira dips down, shows the side of his head, and goes for that jab to the body. And Alex Pereira went left hook, beat him to the shot, puts him down, beats the hell out of him on the ground as well. I don't know what the referee was waiting for, but they gave it enough time. It's all good. Jamahal Hill's fine. It wasn't too bad of a stoppage, but they could have stopped it a little bit earlier, in my opinion. Even Alex Pereira was like, yeah, he's done. I'm standing up. We're done. And then Alex Pereira hits him with, I want to know who Pereira was looking at. I haven't seen a camera angle with him staring right into a camera. When he was doing this, I pray to God he was looking at Israel Adesanya in that irrelevant, dog-touching, dog's fetish having, freak, okay? Boob having, poor upbringing faking, creep. I hope he was looking him dead in the eye and going, this is your guy? This the guy you coached to beat me? Didn't work out when I coached Strickland. You know what I mean? 7-1. 7-1. I beat dead guy one time. And obviously Israel Adesanya's in the crowd. Whatever, Acting like he don't care. Acting like he couldn't care less. Shut up, dude. You're such a little bitch, man. Fuck you. All I'm going to say is this. This is Alex Pereira's weight class. I'm saying that right now, claiming it now. This has always been his weight class. There's a reason he moved up in glory and then came back down in MMA to fight at middleweight. The only reason he really did that probably is because he knew if he was in the same division as Izzy when rising up, he would get the fast track. If he was a light heavyweight, there's no fast track. There's no barely get ranked and then boom, top contender Sean Strickland for a title shot. It's probably like, no, he's going to have to work his way through a bunch of fighters on the unranked area, work his way through the rankings. Like, there's no fast track. So he cuts down to 185. Beats Israel Adesanya. Corpse of himself, as we can tell now. There's no way Bruno Silva's better than Yuri Praska. Andreas Michailidis is not better than Yuri Praska and Jan Blachowicz. All of these fighters have done good against Alex Pereira. He's drained himself down to middleweight. Corpse of himself, shell of himself down there. Still got the job done against these fighters. Beat Israel Adesanya. Was beating Adesanya's ass in the rematch. Looked like we're on our way to another KO win. Adesanya lands one punch, puts him away. Wicked win from Israel Adesanya. I'm not going to take that away from him. It was a wicked win. Fantastic, spectacular KO. This is Alex Pereira's weight class. He is a 235-pound man, a legit 6'4", not an Israel Adesanya 6'4", which is 6'2.5". A legit 6'4" man. Big, tall, strong. Built himself into the weight class now fully. Looks better than ever. Looks more composed. Looks more conscious in the mind as well if you've watched his fights. At middleweight, he looked a bit lethargic in fights. Against Adesanya, against Bruno Silva, against Sean Strickland even, some points early. He looked switched on, but there were moments where you were like, hold on now. Let's switch on a bit here. He looks a bit lethargic out there. Like, God, I'm delirious. Like, he was almost like bouncing around on jelly legs. He looks like stable in his stance at light heavyweight. You know what I mean? Stable in his stance, strong, planted when he needs to be. We didn't see much of that at middleweight from him. This is his weight class. And if Adesanya wants it again, you come to Pereira's weight class now because he's paving the way of legacy. Who are you compared to him? Former champ? Cool, dude. Getting gifted infinite rematches for title shots because the UFC likes you for some whatever reason. You're a star. I get it, you know. LGBTQ community, taboo fetish community on TikTok. They like Israel Adesanya. I get it. He's got that fan base. But you want to fight Pereira? It's on his terms now. So if Adesanya gets that belt back at middleweight, which I don't think he will, but if he does, or if he loses and wants to move up to light heavy, come see Pereira at his weight class, and he will do, in my opinion, absolutely unspeakable things to Adesanya in a fight at light heavyweight. I live to see that day. I think his next move is to fight Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 301. UFC 301 is saved. UFC 301 is saved. He talked about moving to heavyweight. I don't think that's a good idea still. Aspinall's got a nasty rugby tackle on him. Like Blades has got the double. These guys have the double leg option. Does he sleep Cyril Gane? Tuivasa dropped Gane. Yes, he sleeps Cyril Gane stylistically because Gane's not going to shoot takedowns. Yes, I think he stands a chance against. I could see him sleep in Volkov. I could see him live a shot TKO in Volkov. I think he brings a lot of dangers to heavyweight. Jones is going to be long gone, the fat wife abusing, PED taking fat old man. He's going to be gone. So we ain't got to talk about that matchup at all. Jones could actually probably beat him as well with a good time double leg. We know that these wrestlers probably are going to give Pereira problems at heavyweight, especially the athletic ones. He can hang with the strikers though. At light heavyweight, here's what you do. Magomed Ankalaev, you call him out. UFC 301. Ramadan is over. Ramadan is over. No more excuse of that as to why you can't take fights. Because that fight that Jamahal Hill got was originally offered to Magomed Ankalaev. What a disaster that could have been if he would have stunk up the show in the main event. Holding on on his knees in front of his opponent. Don't get me started about their fight style. But Ankalaev is good on the feet. But I do think Pereira has got a shot now. I wasn't sure before, but now I'm like, dude, he's setting up shots differently at light heavyweight. There's a different level of cohesiveness to him. At light heavyweight, he's with it in the brain now. I think he sleeps Ankalaev at UFC 301. Call him out for a fight on that card in Brazil. Save the pay-per-view. Get your title defense. And if Ankalaev turns it down, hey, Yuri seems willing. He just went for a scrap. We'll talk about that in the full card recap. Yuri seems very willing to go. So, looking forward to seeing what happens moving forward. What other options really are there for him at light heavyweight? There aren't, are there? I'm looking at the UFC rankings here. Let me check. We got Yuri, who's number 2. Probably going to now become number 1. Ankalaev, who's number 3. Who's probably not going to accept. He should do, though. Come on. Stop being a coward. Accept a fucking fight for a belt, for fuck's sake. Other than that, there's no real option, so it's on you, Ankalaev. UFC 301 in Brazil. The card is saved. Book him. Let's get it done. And if he clears out Ankalaev, we can move on. I'd say do Yuri Prochazka versus Jamahal Hill. There's history. It was supposed to happen. Let's book it as well. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. See you later. I still think Nikita Krylov's dead, but hopefully he's alive. We'll see what they match him up with afterwards. See you later. Goodbye.